Yeah, I see. Yeah, so let's get started. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Yeah, so welcome you all. So this is a bi-weekly call. So somebody asking like, is it regular? So it is regular, and every bi-weekly is happening. And you should be able to bring in your HLDs, and please let us know the upfront. And today it is September 16th. Welcome all. So today the plan is like we would like to discuss, I think there is a PVST or STP, HLD from Cisco. I think Bala Reddy is going to present. And the second topic is, SONiC profiling from Amir from Marvel team. So these are the two topics. So is Bala Reddy is available? Hello?
Hi, Madhu. I'm
Yeah,
there.
Bala. So will you able to present that?
Yeah,
Actually,
I can.
Madhu, so before that, in fact, last couple of meetings, I've been sharing that, there are these pens co-PR that we're needing review help from the community. And then we decided, it's better that we have some members from the PENS work group to actually go through the pack co-PR so that we can get the review and get it approved. So I haven't seen any progress yet. So can you make sure this is divided up and we can get progress on this? Because we are planning this one for 2024-11.
Yeah, that sounds good. But will you able to let us know? I understand that. Can you list it down all the PRs and where do you need help?
I already did. I mean, if you want, I can send it again.
Yeah, please send it again. I think we have folks here, right? Folks here to get it, speed it up. Yeah. So this is regarding, MSTP or .1x?
No, PACs.
PAC.
Port.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So it would be nice if you're able to, list it down and what is expectation. So we should be able to target in next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Sorry, you said you're going to set a target for 2 weeks?
I mean, so the next 2 weeks in the sense like before next meeting, we should be able to close it.
Okay. There's a lot though.
So that's what I would like to see that, we need to divide. I believe that there are like 20 plus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what the plan is. So what is the plan? So 2024-11 means like, just a month ahead, right? So yeah. So let us know. We'll see like how much. Do we have a PR here? Yeah. Is this a pack? Yeah. So Adam, I mean, just list down all the PRs, right? So we should be able to.
Or can we? Do we know who will be interested to review this, so that I can get in touch with the members in the community?
Yeah, I think we have Celestica here, and I think all the folks are here. We have Cisco here, we have Marvel here, and so is it Celestica is interested to review a pack? Hello, please let us know, or like you can send me an email. So Adam, like I think you just post me that. I'll figure it out. I can assign to the right people. Okay.
All right. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So I would expect maybe you just send out an email on the same group. I will take a look in the evening and I'll add all the group members. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, so in the same notes, how about the MSTP? I think Explore HLD is being discussed, right? So what is the plan on 2024-11? Do you want it to commit that? Is it Rida is here? Hello.
Sorry, your question again?
Yeah, the MSTP feature. So I think it's a go signal. Right? Do you have any code PRs planning to 2024-11?
Yes, this is a feature that MSTP we're targeting for 2024-11 also. So from Expo, from Broadcom, we already have the HLD review by a larger community as well as the PENS work group. So this has been approved and merged, the HLD. The next step is to have this co-PR to be pushed to the community, and then we will get the review going.
Yeah, so here, I have an idea. So, this closer group, right? for both the PAC and MSTP. So this closer group provide you, all the feedback and everything. How about pull in some, because PAC and MSTP is already been discussed in, dev community. So do you have any suggestion to pull the right people? Do you, I believe that some of the guys already have been reviewers, right?
Yeah, I don't worry about MSDP. This has a wider interest, and then the HRD has been reviewed by multiple organizations, so I don't think we have a problem with that. But only thing is, the one with PAC, since there's a lot of co-PR, 20 plus, it really needs some work coordination among the members in the team, so that we can get it through. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so the two folds. One is this group, and as well as if you pull in, if you let us know who are the the broader community, we should be able to also reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah, that is one thing. I see Celestica is interested on that. So I think Praveen, you should be able to join in that group. Not a group, like you can join as a reviewer. You can start providing the review comments on PAC. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
So having said that, we have two topics today. Balari, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. So will you able to present, or can you check? Will you able to present the HLD?
Yeah, I can. I'll give you the overview, basically, the complete thing, what we have done, what is existing, where we have taken, and what is the current state, and when the PRs will be ready, what is pending in the, how many PRs are already raised and how many more are there. So that kind of status I would like to give. You want me to go ahead, Madhu?
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm just checking whether logistics will you able to present any content, or do you want me to present? Just check whether you are able to present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check that. Yeah, I'm able to share my Excel sheet here. Where basically anything I can share from my desktop.
You are able to share, right? That's good.
Yeah.
So, but I cannot see
Yeah.
anything. Did you try? I cannot see anything from you. Yeah.
Just
it's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up. It's good.
Yeah. So I request your pardon here because I don't know the etiquette, basically the format what we are running and how we were present here. Is this a slide format or the document format, etc., etc. From next meeting onwards, I'll get it from Madhu and comply to those norms if we have any process and all. But for this meeting, just pardon me. I'm going to present what we have done, what is present, right? So PVST HLD is already committed and it is existing on SONiC today, right? So let me just share that one first. And
yeah, I can help you. So I believe this is the HLD.
Yeah, you go ahead and share if you have handy. I do have it. Yeah.
This one, right?
This is the one. I'm sharing it. You as a
September.
This one?
Here, I have shared it. You're able to see SONiC PVST HLD. I'm sharing my.
Yeah, go ahead, Bal.
Yeah. So this is the HLD. It was done, committed already 5 years back. Sorry.
Yeah, I think something noise.
Okay. Yeah. So this HLD, and there were multiple PRs raised based on this HLD.
No, yeah, right now.
March, April.
So is it possible to?
Harry, please put on silent.
Yeah, just I'm trying to mute.
Hi Bala, is it me or we are seeing the SONiC Swiss repo, I think, rather than the HLD?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing the HLD, yeah.
You're not seeing HLD?
I think we are presenting a different window.
GitHub, you're seeing the GitHub.
Okay, let me just share it again. Is it okay now?
No,
No, still you
no,
are
we are still seeing the white box SONiC Swiss. Maybe open a.
Screen and then
I think you are selecting a
okay.
particular window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try this now. I think it should now go. Is it okay now?
Nope.
Screen sharing.
No,
No,
still.
still white box. Madhu, if you have it handy, maybe you can share and then we can continue.
Yeah.
So, is it the same thing? This is what? This is what?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah. So let me move this one and okay. So which section should I go? Yeah, you wanted to read through Mal?
No, I will just give an overview. I'll come back to this one later. But so what I'm trying to say here is this HLD is present, and the development currently what we have validated using the old PRs that were done by Broadcom to comply with this HLD. So majority of the functionality written in those PRs is already in compliance with this HLD. But there were some around 20 to 30 or 20-25 issues across all the sections, and some functionality was not done as per the HLD. So all of them we have integrated and fixed them and tested on Cisco 8000 platform as per the test cases written here, and some more test cases on top of that, right? So yeah, so if you go down here, functional requirements, right? Just stay there, Madhu, with the functional requirements in the beginning, the section, right? I'll just, yeah, here, yeah. So this is the support PVST plus per VLAN spanning tree and support post parse function. So if you look at the second functionality, right? So that functionality exists, but as per the HLD, it should be enabled by default. It was not enabled by default. So we fixed that. And today also there is another thing we need to update this HLD that if you want to enable a per VLAN STP, you have to enable it globally. That means if you have 100 VLANs, first you enable in all of 100 of them, then you disable the not required ones. Let's say you want to enable VLAN 2 VLANs or 3 VLANs, but you have 100 VLANs on the box. So you have to enable all of them first, 100 VLANs, then you disable on 98 VLANs, so that only the other 2 VLANs stay with the PVST, which is operationally complex. So that problem we fixed where you can enable single VLAN, or you want to enable all the VLAN at a time. So and the uplink pass functionality, BPDU guard functionalities, all of these are already present. I mean, in the open PRs, not tested while integrating, but we have done all the integrated them in the mainline and as per the latest master and tested them, especially on the on the Cisco 8000 platform, right? Then the other thing is other one is done is that number 8. Number 8 is DMAC in case of PVST should be the Cisco one, but for interoperability purpose, we kind of, if while running the PVST, if somebody sends with IEEE MAC on PVST in addition to the Cisco defined MAC, so that also we are fixing it, and that will be available in the PRs, right? So the static breakout ports, we are testing still. It's not complete. The breakout port testing that is in progress. It will be done in a couple of weeks from now, and the other things, right? In addition to this one, so basically net this whole HLD, other than the interop between the PVST and STP, we are still evaluating. I am not sure Balaji joined in this call, but he can give more context on that. Is there a use case for interop between IEEE standard STP and the PVST that we are looking at. And if there is a use case, then we will come back for the interop case. But otherwise, the current interop with within PVST with different MACs like Cisco MAC or IEEE MAC, that is fixed, right? And then other than so these things, then the complete HLD, if you except these few points what I mentioned, the complete HLD is tested on Cisco 8000. And the test cases, if you go down in the bottom right, all of those test cases we have qualified, tested and qualified. Right. If you go down, yeah, these are the cases, right? Unit testing. These are all tested and verified, and we have captured the results, and those things we are going to present into the PR in that one, right? So yeah, all of these things, right? Each and everything test effort, and all of them are automated. And most of the automated, I mean the spy test automation is completed, and that is running in our sanities on Cisco 8000 box, and that we are going to raise the PR to the community after some more sanitization we do. We are trying the sanitization. The code is ready, but the testing is still going on for the community thing. But for the internal thing, these are all automated, and they are running in our sanities on Cisco 8000. Right. So, and yeah.
So are you going to raise the co-PR for the STP Docker?
Could you come again? I couldn't hear it clear.
Are you going to raise the co-PR for the STP Docker, which is already merged? Are you?
Yeah. So yeah. So the other things I'm going to come on that. What are the other things? The basically integrating STP Docker into these things, right? And the build image, SONiC build image, so that by default the build image pulls the code and builds the Docker. Yeah. So those things are done. That is already part of the PR, and I'll kind of update that now. Yes. So those changes are in the PRs, right? And so, the scaling, yeah, go ahead.
You're going to raise for SWSS management all those PRs also?
Yes, yes. Yeah, so SWSS management, when you say that, you are talking about the Swiss UT automation, right?
No, I'm not talking about automation. See, there are different, see, for a PVST, there is only one PR which is merged, right? So there are other PRs also which is not going to merge, which is not merged, which is raised by Broadcom. So you're aware of that, right? So are you planning to push those PR also?
Yes. So the thing is, for PVST, whatever is merged or whatever is there as a SONiC repo is SONiC STP repo, right? And this HLD. Now the rest of the PR, like on SONiC Swiss and SONiC Utilities, and SONiC Swiss and SONiC Utilities, and the SONiC build image thing, right? So these three PRs, we have taken them and fixed wherever it is required and merged into our local, our basically Cisco repos and tested on top of that. So the PRs what we are bringing in, they are nothing but the old PRs with all the fixes, which makes it run and pass all these tests.
But Bala, this was already planned that we will be like merging those co-PRs, which is not at merge, right? That will be as part of MSTP as a fresh merge.
Yeah. So right. So I have not done anything different from them. So because we wanted the PVST functionality on SONiC, and they were so we were not sure. I tried to reach out the people, and I think Balaji is here. He was trying for some time, and we discussed with Sudarshan also some time back that we need this one on Cisco 8000, and there was they were sitting there for 4 years or 3.5 years, right? So we took them and fixed the issues, and now merged into for Cisco 8000 repos on the SONiC, and we merged them into the master. There are same thing, but we are okay to work collaboratively, and if there is some conflict or if these PRs are not will not go well with the current design and all, we can open up for the conflicts, what is the challenges and all. Anything we are fine, but just that this is the PRs what I have raised now, and still some more are going to come, and especially on the spy test automation and Swiss UT automation, and the validation on the master. But it's exactly same old things. I will just share the issues at the list of issues. There are some more. I will collect all of them and put them in the Excel sheet, but I have put them roughly those issues in one of the Excel sheet, what and all issues fixed on top of this. I don't think there should be any conflict with the MSTP. If your MSTP is following the PVST HLD, what Madhu is sharing here. And but if you
Bala,
yeah.
So I think we're talking two different things. So what Divya is saying is that basically this has been disclosed to the community before when we do this MSTP HLD, and then when we talk about the approach and the strategy with this, is that back in 2019 we have a set of PVST code PR from Broadcom that has been posted and has gone through some amount of review, but not everything has been merged back then. So the new initiative with MSTP is that we're gonna revamp some of these PVST changes and then bring it alongside with the MSTP co-PR. So meaning there will be two sets of co-PR that Broadcom will be targeting to merge for 2024-11. The original PVST, a revamp, and also the new changes that is setting on top for MSTP. So with this, I think this is a major conflict with what we have planned for 2024-11. I think I appreciate the fact that you actually fixed some of these problems for PVST, which we may not have been fine or may not be spending time on. I think the best way to do this is since we have the set target and then the plan has been agreed by the community with MSTP, let's have these MSTP together with PVST to be merged first. And then you can come in with the additional fixes that you may have found and fix from Cisco. So that way we can, that way you can complement on top of what we have after the merge.
Yeah. So Adam, so I don't have any issues with that approach, but what I'm looking at is like, because these were sitting, even MSTP also, right? I think it was sitting, it was there for a long time, and now you guys are brought it up for the review. And STP was there for a long time, and we were looking at somebody will fix it and all, and then we were waiting for that because there was we didn't know how to reach out to the original authors or something, so we picked it up. But I don't have any issue if you kind of say, okay, this is the timeline, we are bringing in both the PVST and MSTP, and on top of that we can port all the fixes what we have done, if that is the way. But probably we should have some kind of timeline saying that, okay, this is the timeline we are going to bring in PVST, so that we can add on top of that. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think
in that case we can coordinate because the effort is already ongoing. In fact, Divya and Rita is already working on the co-PRs about to post. So then I don't want them to put on hold and then take care about the conflicts as you guys start going in, right? So then let's have them finish it up and then let them post, have them to be merged, and then we can go on top of that after you guys. After these guys are done. So yeah, so that's the thinking I have.
Yeah, so Adam, I think what we can also do is if your team can share the PRs with us, I think we should also review it. We'd be more than happy to review your Broadcom PRs, whatever you're planning to do.
Sure. So for co-PR is in the community GitHub, right? So anybody can review. Cisco, if willing, they can go. You guys can go review, or anybody else in the community can review. This is a really
Yes, correct. So we will do that. The second thing which I want to also highlight is the PVST, we have certain requirements to handle. So we want to make sure that even when you bring MSTP, the PVST should work. So we need to make sure as a community that the MSTP is also working in conjunction with PVST. So we do not want to break, oh, we want MSTP to be working all the time, but we are not guaranteeing PVST. That should not happen. So that's why we want to review your PR, and then we can collaborate not only in the meeting but also outside and see how we can bring these two things together.
Yeah, there's two ways to do this. So look, I mean, again, as I said, review is at the community GitHub, right? So anybody can review, and if there's enhancements or there are specific requirements coming from you guys that you see that this co-PR is not fulfilling your requirements, either we can address that, or you can put enhancement on top of the co-PR so that after the original PR merge, then you can have your additional changes to address your concern. Right.
So yeah, so Adam, thank you.
Yeah,
so,
I mean that's the community process. Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing, I have two questions. So one thing, if Divya should be able to share some timelines so that we can align to get into the PRs. The second thing, Bridget Das, so if I see that you are coming up with some requirements, right? It would be nice to have a HLD, one-page HLD, so that we can you should be able to present to the community that these are the new requirements coming on PVST. So this will be we're gonna port, or we're gonna add on top of the changes made by Broadcom and Xflow. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, means if you can share the PRs, or maybe I will just take a look. I don't PRs hand.
It's a regular community process, right? So the only thing we are waiting, as soon as they are pushing the code PRs, which is available to our community. So I think Adam, as soon as you are pushing the code, also let us know in the community. We should be able to chime in here. Okay.
Yeah, I think the one request to Divya would be to include Bala in the review process. So we just want to make sure that the changes that we are planning to do.
Again, I mean, the community review process is not like I don't think they can be assigned as a reviewer as such, right? So if you look at the process in GitHub, anyone can go ahead and put a comment on a co-PR or HLD PR, and then that automatically bring the person into a reviewer. Okay, so yeah,
I
so that's
think that's fine. That's fine, Adam. So I think the point what I was asking is probably it would be good to share some timelines so that we will be aligned, and then we can plan our fixes and whatever changes new requirements that are coming in. We can always be aligned on that, and happy to.
Yeah,
sure.
So,
yeah. And as a matter of fact, for PVST, right, the one that you're just showing here is actually the original PVST HLD by Sandeep from Broadcom. And I think, for the continuation of the improvement in PVST, if this is something that you guys want to pursue, I mean, I think you should actually submit a co-PR on top of the original PVST HLD as a modification or enhancement, so that you can mark your new fixes and new requirements and suggestions. So that way we have a continuity with a feature as we go along the path. I mean, again, it's a community process. It's not that something I defining here.
Yeah. So
I understand that is.
Bala, you should be able to add like this. You can review on this. Okay. So the only thing is we need to know when those PRs coming up. So that I think Divya should be able to help us. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Another question, Madhu, just if you permit me. So the HLD PVST, whatever is there in the community, are we deviating from that, or are we changing anything because of the MSTP, or it is going to be intact and it will be some additional things on top of it?
You'll be largely based on the original HRD.
Yeah.
It should be add on to the original HRD, right? There is no deviation from the original HRD.
Correct. Deviation, and it will be just add-ons.
Okay, that's all. Okay, thank you. So once you let us know, probably then the timelines and all, then we will be happy to raise co-PRs for all the fixes we have done. And also the other things I would like to bring in is because there is no PR on the automation PRs, especially for the spy test and Swiss UT. Those we have done. Those PRs anyway we will go ahead and raise because there is no original PRs for that.
Okay.
Hope that is okay.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
I think there is no dependency on that, right? I think Cisco teams will be able to move on.
Right.
I guess,
Thank you.
the CRI needs to be conformed.
May I ask
But
a
anyway,
question?
I mean, I think that can be handled later. Yeah, go ahead.
Will it be support for the VS, or it will be only hardware dependent feature? Can we run the automation on the virtual testbed?
Yeah, so that we have so far we are running on the hardware, Cisco hardware, but we are trying out on the VS also. So that I had to try out those tests. That's where we are trying out, and we'll update you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, so Bala, do you have any topics to discuss?
That's all. I think I wanted to show those fixes and all, but anyway, those things we can discuss once we raise the PR, the co-PR on top of the original ones Divya and Adam brings in.
Okay, all right, yeah. So thank you, Bala.
I believe it's also important. I don't know if it's stated on SLD or not. If it is, then maybe my question would be irrelevant. But we need to make sure that the new SIA APIs that are being used for the PBST is known to the at least major SIA vendors we do support in SONiC. So we would make sure that this functionality will work with all SIA implementations.
I don't think there's I don't think there's new SI header definition in this.
These are all existing.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that's good. I mean, we are not introducing any new SI attribute. Hopefully, this was not either.
Yeah, but my point is, it's not. Yes, we are not. But previously, there was no use for these attributes, let's say, in the community SONiC whatsoever. So it might be the possibility that some of the implementation is not covering them, just to do the heads up to the community that look, these are the attributes being used by this feature, and this is the expectation that when you do this should happen, something like that.
Sorry, I'm lost. So are you saying there was some SI attribute defined but not used, or are you saying different?
No. I'm saying that yes, there is a SI definitions, but typically the vendors implement SI based on what's used in SONiC or not. So because it wasn't used in the SONiC, maybe there is a good idea, to highlight that this feature will use these SI attributes in this manner.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so you want HRD to disclose that.
Yes, that we rely on this, and the hardware should do that.
Gotcha. All right, sure.
Okay, so all right. So this thank you, Cisco team. Yeah. The second topic is the SONiC profiling from Marvel team. I think Amir will be able to present that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my name is Amir from the Marvel. I want to go over today on the beginning of adding profiling in the terms of like having different profiles for different environments to SONiC. Basically, the primary objective of this HLD of this topic is to create build profiles that optimize the configurations for the different environments, with improvements to the build system being the first foundational step in this direction. So in terms of the overview of what I'm going to be talking about here, first of all, I'm not coming up with any definitions for any profiles at the moment. This is just the beginning of like the infrastructure to begin making SONiC profiles. The idea being that as we continue expanding into other applications like AI, enterprise, or any other environments, I want to be able to streamline the deployment process. So the first step to doing this is by standardizing the build configurations. This can help ensure that we have a comprehensive profiling system, meaning that we have a single profile configuration that will be able to do multiple different configurations in a more more easy manner. At the moment, a lot of SONiC configurations have to be done in multiple different places. Most of it is done within the config file in rules/config. But if you want, I want to be able to tinker a bit more and to have exactly what we want in the way that we want. So the first step is to standardize this build process. So first of all, in terms of requirements, I want to be able to support multiple profiles. Like I said, there's enterprise, obviously data center, AI, and any other future use cases that we see. Each profile has to include a set of configurations that are optimized for its use case. In terms of the configuration files, each profile will have its own configuration file stored in its own predefined path within the build system, most likely within the rules folder. The build system needs to be enhanced to include selecting a profile during the build process. And finally, like I said, there needs to be some sort of standardization within the configuration settings that can ensure consistency and ease of use for the future enhancements as well. So this is completely just within the SONiC build image. There's no SWSS, no database, nothing of that sort. So first, I want to say, like, this is the first step is by standardizing the build configuration. So I want to show you a couple examples of some inconsistent configurations that I found. So some lack of clarity that I see. If we talk about, for example, the Docker NAT configuration, the NAT feature, if within the rules/config you want to include Docker NAT, which it says it just builds Docker NAT for NAT support. Even with this variable set to yes, the Docker NAT image is built, but it's not enabled by default, as opposed to like another feature for the system event D, where this both builds and enables it by default. This can lead to like different interpretations of what including a feature actually means. So another example of like when you include event D, it only installs the Docker, but we always will build the Docker image, which is just, again, it's not exactly clear. And so even if you don't include event D, it will still build event D, as opposed to Docker NAT, which again, if you include NAT, then it will also build and install the image. So my solution for this at the moment is to streamline the profile. In order to streamline the profile creation, I want to standardize these environmental variables for these features, specifically the Docker features, and ensure that consistent interpretation of what it means to include a feature. So in terms of backwards compatibility, I still want to keep that include keyword, but it does always mean now to build and install the relevant source code that is associated with that feature. There's also enabling. So enable just means by default, it will be enabled when the SONiC image starts. You will be able to delay. Delaying is means until after port config is done. And auto restart means when the container fails, or if the container fails, then it will automatically restart. These features are already like present within the build system, but it's just not clear how you're supposed to change them, when you're supposed to change them, and all these different issues that can arise. So I'm not adding any of these features. These features already exist. So there will be more things to standardize the build system. This is just the beginning. But again, this is to start the process of that infrastructure for profiling. So to begin with the actual profiling part, I want to create a new environmental variable called SONiC profile, which you will set it to either like data center to enterprise or AI, whatever is for us more interesting for enterprise. And it will, using this code, but it's not that important to read, but basically it will import the profile that we select based on the SONiC profile. So if you say SONiC profile equals enterprise, it will pull out the rules/config.enterprise SONiC profile. If no SONiC profile is given, then it will just use the default rule/config that already exists. So just to go over some use cases, if we're talking about data center, you need to handle high traffic, minimal latency, all the things that we know is necessary for data center. So the process for this profile at the moment is you just set the SONiC profile to data center. It pulls out the rule/config.data center configuration file, which will include settings optimized. Again, I don't have, and the purpose here is not to come up with those rules at the moment with that configuration, but these can be things at the moment like remove the DHCP server container that's in config by default, or adding dual TOR capabilities. Same with enterprise, similar idea. You want to say have security and reliability, set the SONiC profile to enterprise, pulls the config enterprise configuration file, and these settings could be like enabling MACsec and NAT. You can also have custom profiles by just making your own config dot whatever profile name you want. So on top of this, you can also prioritize any other configurations you want to make, like you can already do today. For example, if you want to have the enterprise, but still set the default password to something else, you can still do that. So it's still pretty flexible. Once again, this is just the beginning of starting to make some consistency in the build system in order to enable profile management and for it to be useful. So that's it. If there's any questions, if you have any ideas, feedback on how to continue with this, that would be appreciated.
I really like the idea, but I believe what we are missing here is the way how we will introduce these profiles also to the management suite, especially for currently SONiC management has a different there is no way to separate which test to run, and maybe we would need to develop something similar for the tests as well.
Right, I agree. But the tests also, right, you would build the tests. They don't go necessarily into the SONiC image. They're built like separately, the tests. So I agree. We need to come up with a different way. We can even possibly automatically, based on the profile, come up with the specific what test to run, what images need to be installed into those ones. Yeah.
And what about the management and CLI stuff? So when we have the separate profile which has set of features, I believe we also need to make sure that there is a proper CLI tree being included or excluded based on the profile.
No, of course. Again, none of this changes currently how SONiC works. It's just how to start currently making it a little bit more user-friendly to configure SONiC to work how you want it to work. That's why I'm adding more configuration variables, and there will be more. This is just to start off with the Docker features in order to make it much easier to configure these. Like none of these features are new. Dockers still have their own way of adding their CLI commands automatically when it's installed. There's no change there.
Yeah, as a first step, it perfectly makes sense.
Yeah, so Amir, this sounds good. And Amir, I think there is something called application extension, right? I think there is HLD. So that they have done some kind of improvements in the package management. Is that can you check whether that can be helpful to pull up something here? So
can you share like a different HLD that they made changes?
Yeah. So 1 second, I'll give you.
Here, I can share.
I'm not sure. I mean, is there any aspect you should be able to pick up from here? So let me. I put on the chat window, and also, so there is something called this one. And this talk about basically providing, all our, SONiC containers to basically should be able to use any orchestration system to better package management and to also extend the applications. So if you look at this, some sections talking about the package management, configuration management. I'm not sure whether how much we can leverage here, but so this talk about all the SONiC
I
packages.
believe it's a bit different. So what
Mm.
Amir is saying is we are starting just to wrapping the config SONiC config current, and what's here is application extension. This was the effort from NVIDIA to allow to better isolate and better separate features inside SONiC itself. As the next step, it can be the good idea, but I believe from the configuration perspective, it has nothing to do with how the Dockers itself are being built. So because this app extension is saying that you can get the baseline Docker image and you can have your feature as the Docker container and load it in runtime or disable it in runtime or even unload it. So it's close enough, but a bit different, let's say, area of
Yeah. So Taras, I do agree that. So it's kind of an extension. So I believe that the problem what Amit is trying to solve, which is not exist yet, I think we should be able to kind of augment to any of the things available here. Okay.
Right.
So Amit, take a look whether anything should be able to so pick up something or like maybe some idea. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what is the plan actually? So do you gonna have detailed HLD would like discuss some of
Yeah,
the
so this was just like just the beginning of the idea here is I was looking into making profiling, and as I was looking into making different like profiles, again, it's not like my meaning is to make the profiles, that's this group, but in terms of to start actually including that feature of different profiles, I'm looking at this build system and I see that one, there's not many things that can be changed. Like there is this config, there is like init config and some things, but like if I want to run smaller images, there is a configuration that it tries to make it smaller, but it doesn't do that much. There's no easy configuration for you know like making so that the Docker doesn't use more than a certain percentage of CPU or a certain percentage of RAM or any of these things that are necessary for like an enterprise environment. So the easiest place to start, I was thinking, was let's just clean up a bit of, I see that these features, I'm sure there's also some reasons of why some packages are just built, for example, always, which just makes the build slower, or but to begin making profiles to be usable, because we already have this existing configuration infrastructure, I want to add more, like as a metaphor, like knobs that we can turn. If there's nothing to really do in profile in these configurations, then there's no reason to have a profile. So the idea is to continue seeing what else can be improved and then adding the ability all from one single file to be able to change those configurations, as well as at some point to add some sort of like validation to see, for just as an example, like you can build a you can include a package, but then there's no point in enabling it. So this is a misconfigured profile.
Right.
So that also needs to be like as an idea to brought up and how we should be doing that. But I want to start off with just cleaning up the configuration, like the build system configuration files, and if you have any feedback of like if there's a, for historical like previous Dockers, I'm sure some of them have a reason to always have to be built, but others I don't believe. I think they're just inconsistent
Yeah.
and
So
unclear.
Yeah, so yeah, sounds great, and so I would advise so let's propose a use case and also the pain points, and should be able to start so step by step, right? So we can target a certain Docker, I mean a couple of Dockers. We can propose how the profile is going to be useful. Then we should be able to push that into the community.
Right. And in the future, to continue adding more configurations, like again, like limiting specific Dockers, possibly coming up with a like initial configuration profile of how the board should initially be configured, and like just to add more of your ideas of what what you would expect to have for your profile, things that should be looked into of like these are things we would want to change.
Right, right. So it is kind of a framework or programmatic way we'll do. We kind of build the systems, right? So build a system and produce the build, and also on top of that we're going to orchestrate the configurations. Yeah. So come up with come up with the proposal, and maybe we should be able to discuss one more time here, and before taking it to the wider audience. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So all right, thank you so much, both Cisco team and Marvel team, and the Broadcom team for the comments and feedback. So thank you so much. If you don't have any questions, we can sign off today. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just please, Adam and Divya, please let us know the timelines, because we have the pending things on top of that. So we will anyway share our HLDs for the new features, but there are more things. So it would be better to get those timelines as soon as possible, so that we can focus on other things.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Yeah, bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.